Just imagine a person so trapped by the rules and regulations of a particular game, for example, that he misses or he missed the whole point, or he missed to enjoy the whole game. Imagine a person suffocating the joy and spontaneity of life. That is precisely what happened to the Pharisees in today's gospel. They were so obsessed with the observance of the law on Sabbath that they could not see the good that Jesus was doing right in front of them. He healed a man with a withered hand, but instead of rejoicing, they were outraged and started to plot just to kill him. They were so focused on the letters of the law, on their man-made traditions, that they missed the gift of the Sabbath or the spirit of the Sabbath entirely. They were blinded by their rigid interpretations of the law, and so they became deaf to the cries of the suffering and ultimately heartless and joyless in the face of a miracle. And yet, according to the gospel, they remained silent when Jesus asked, "Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath rather than to do evil, to save life rather than to destroy it?" While the Old Testament law regarding the keeping of the Sabbath never explicitly prohibited healing, the religious leaders added countless rules and regulations. The implementing rules and regulations, IRR, nothing but man-made traditions. According to one commentary, the Talmud, the book of Jewish traditions, dedicates 24 chapters to listing various Sabbath laws. For example, according to this commentary, you could not travel more than 3,000 feet from your house on the day of the Sabbath. That is roughly less than a kilometer. You could not carry anything that weighs more than a dried fig. That is roughly 8.4 grams. You could not even carry a needle. Taking a bath was forbidden because water might splash on the floor and you might be tempted to wipe it off. Women should not look in the mirror during Sabbath for fear that they might pull out gray hair. And that is already equivalent to doing something on the Sabbath, equivalent to not following the law of the Sabbath. It was indeed suffocating, a suffocating list of restrictions, turning a day of rest into a day of anxiety. Sa halip na nakapagpahinga, iisipin mo pa if you violated the law of the Sabbath. The Sabbath was intended as a gift, a time for rest, renewal, and rejoicing in God's presence. But it became what it was supposed to avoid, a burden on the day of rest. It is easy for us now to judge the Pharisees, but looking deeply, have we not all fallen into this trap? Sometimes we can get so caught up in our own rules about what it means to be a good Christian, and we miss the heart of our faith. We might think that keeping the Sabbath holy means just going to Mass and then checking it off in our to-do list, viewing it as a mere law that we have to follow in order to attain salvation, viewing it as a mere obligation that we have to follow so that we can enter heaven. When we go to Mass this Sunday, the challenge for us is to go deeper, to look deeper, and to break free from being legalistic or from legalism, and rediscover the joy of just being present with God and with the community. Let us make it a day of true rest, renewal, and love, not just a checklist of obligations. Psalm, a jurist, had a beautiful reminder for all of us. No law, not even one as sacred as keeping the Sabbath holy, should ever overshadow charity.